going to show you how I made a lightsaber with a trip to the plumbing aisle and about 25 bucks. So what you need to build this lightsaber: this pop-up drain, 1.25 inch size, plastic chrome plated. That's going to be about 8 bucks. It's going to come with this plastic nut. It's going to come with this rubber stopper, and it's going to come with this that actually goes into the sink. You're not putting it in the sink, you're going to make a lightsaber out of it. This is a faucet drain cover. That is going to be about $2. This is a slip joint. This is another $1 or $2. And these are just various polywashers. You need 1.25 size for your pop-up drain, which is 1.25 size. This 1.5 inch size actually comes with your extension tube. This is a 6-inch extension tube. You can get a 12-inch extension tube like seen here. That's going to be about 8 bucks. The PVC pipe is 1/2 inch, 10-foot size is only 2 bucks. So you can make 3 lightsabers out of one piece of PVC. The vinyl tube I have over it, which you can see I had to split it to make it fit. We'll get into that in a minute. That's going to be about 2 or 3 bucks depending on the size. And I use 1.25 inch size. Obviously that is too small, and you may not need it all depending on what you're doing. So you can figure this any number of ways. I mean, you can put the drain washer on top. You can not use it at all. So we're going to put the pop-up drain like that. We've got the washer rubber flange, this little nut. Now these poly washers, you're going to slide these over the pop-up drain like so. Now let's take the extension tube. This 1.5 inch poly washer comes with the extension tube, which is perfect. Put your faucet cover right there. The slip nut goes right over top of it. So now you got a nice clean bottom. You're going to slip it over the poly washers like so. You want a little bit of resistance like this has. Look at that. You've got a lightsaber hilt. And then you can do this a number of different ways. You can see on this one, I didn't use the basin part. I just used the rubber with the slip joint. And I used craft foam for the base. And it's got the same, it's got the false cover on the bottom. Now for the PVC, you can wrap a bunch of packaging tape around it here. You just want a nice tight fit. You can see once you kind of push that in there. So for these, I painted them, I tried to make it lightsaber type colors, and then I wanted to cover it in vinyl to protect the paint. Well, the only vinyl tube the hardware store had was an inch vinyl tube. And I thought, oh, I can heat that up and fit it right over the pipe. Well, the problem is you can heat a section of it at a time and get it started, but you can't heat this amount of length, this length of vinyl tube and keep it hot enough to go over the whole thing. So I ended up splitting it just to A, protect the paint, and B, it makes it so you can't swing these harder, so it makes it slightly safer, and also it's not as loud, it dampens that sound. Now it's also a bad thing because you can't swing it as hard and fast, you don't feel quite as cool because you're not getting as much momentum behind the lightsaber. But if you're dealing with kids, it might be good to put the vinyl tube on there. I used 1-inch vinyl tubing. I would guess a 1 1/4, maybe 1 3/8 size vinyl tubing should slide right over the PVC. So it weights it down, makes it a little heavier, kind of ruins the balance, makes it very top heavy. But you can't swing it as hard, so it's not going to hurt as much if you get smacked with it. I made the blades or the lightsaber parts on these 3 feet long. On this one I made it 42 inches long, a little bit longer just because I used the 12-inch extension tube. What I did was I cut it, and you see how I just used a Dremel cutting tool, cut all the way around and down. I used a split loom in there just to give it a bit of a different look so it wasn't all the silver and chrome. This is a pop-up tube, but this is the bottom part, whereas on this, when you see that it's, this part is the top where this thing comes out, and I did the whole thing upturned. I didn't put any of these washers or rubber joints on it. And then this is just a worm gear to help hold it together, because that metal, once you cut this extension tube, the metal has nothing to hold it together, so I used a worm gear. And now if I wanted to go the extra mile, I'd cut that off right there, but I just didn't feel like doing that. So you can mix and match these parts and pieces. You can do all kinds of different things for the handle grip to make it look different. You know, you could glue or screw in like a D-ring at the bottom so it could hang onto your belt. So that's it. That's a lightsaber. 25 bucks, a trip to the hardware store. You can have your very own lightsaber. I made 3 of these because I had enough PVC, so I figure, why not buy a few more plumbing parts and do some lightsaber battles?